is my epoch. Welcome, guys. It is hot as man. It's just hot. It it's 96 again today. It's like it won't stop. And Sam and I spent a couple hours inside today so that she could cool down and so that we could have some good time. But I went and hey, what's up, Jeremy? Nice to see you. Hey, did you see that? Did you see that thing I posted on Patreon? Um, so apparently I posted double, but I thought I was having trouble with the upload. But essentially, what was it, like Marine One came in, and I got to watch them. So first they had the police helicopters come by, so they have a Huey, and so I got to watch them come by and scout the area. There was a van probably to go pick up staff, but there's also a NATO OTAN summit going on here. I'm not exactly sure, but I thought it was a little interesting. You could see a lot of stuff going on. Like you could see what's really going on in the country if you sit back and watch what's going on here just in the day to day, and watch the because the whole city is here to serve Congress and the president. That the whole city is here for them. So uh, no, I just put it up maybe like 10 minutes ago. Um, but it was quite interesting. But what is it? DC is becoming a vortex to me. So for those of you that don't know what a vortex is, when you're hiking along trail, there are certain places that you go that make you feel really comfortable, and you just kind of like you just kind of get fat and happy, and you just want to take a nap and rest for a while and things like that. And you're just like, man. And so usually on trail you have somebody that's always along going, no, you got to get on the trail. I'm going to make you miserable till you go out on trail. And then they'll sit there and they'll ruin the experience so that you'll get up and go on trail. Sometimes it can take a minute to get a guy out. I've heard stories like, a guy was there for like a week. It took him 2 more weeks to get him out, because the vortex, he just got comfortable. And he's just like, and the thing that I like about DC is it's an event town, so there's always a lot of events that are going on. They were doing tear down of an event today. They were this is all like they're tearing down for the 4th of July, but yet we got events starting on like Wednesday and Thursday, like all week long. There's going to be some sort of rally or event, and so this is an activist paradise, even for the homeless here. They're kind of above compared to what I'm used to seeing. It's like there's a lot more going on upstairs than what it would normally be going on amongst the homeless population. There's some intelligence there. The really weird thing is it's like almost 100%. Like there might be like 5% white, but it's 95% black. And then you got the migrants. But if you talk about the local homeless population, it's almost all black, and that's really, really weird. Like even in the deep South, you're gonna see 20 to 30% white, and to see that little, that's very disproportionate. And I wonder why. It might be because of activism. It might be because of other things. Who knows? What's up, DFH? Nice to see you. So, did you get the email that I sent to you about that whole Supreme Court thing? So I may have to move into the bushes here in a minute. Good thing I got my tripod. So that's actually why you see a stable thing there right now instead of it shaking all over the place. I told you I had a tripod. I was just being lazy. I didn't want to pull it out because it got moved to the bottom of my bag. And at the end of the day, I haven't pulled out my camp. I don't usually set up camp till after I'm done with my live stream. That way, if I'm doing a road walk or something like that. Okay, I haven't seen it yet. Hey, what's up, Palm Coast Prepper? So the article was really putting a spin on, no, it cancels it out and stuff like that. It was very slanted and biased. It was meant to, that was a way to be able to rally the base in the way that, Roe v. Wade tramples all over women's rights, going back to the States, it's going to kill all women, things like that. It's rhetoric. And that's really what that article was. What's up, Cherokee? So black to white is because the whites are wealthy over last 40 years, made a subclass of black workers who can't afford to live in DC, so they end up there homeless. You know what? I could definitely see that being a possibility because, like I said, the whole city is here to serve Congress and the president. No wonder these guys get so drunk with power and they're so delusional. Just like in Hollywood, where the whole world's there to serve them because they're a famous actor and they put butts in the seat. All of a sudden, it goes to their head and then they become delusional. I think either the culture of DC needs to change, or we need to really put term limits. You're only allowed to come here once, maybe twice in a lifetime, tops. Because that's going to be the only way that you keep people from getting drunk with power, because eventually it'll go away. So there'll be some humility to it. Now, the thing is what are they going to do post-Congress? Like what kind of deals are they going to make so that they can have a cush lifestyle afterwards? You still got to worry about that. But, as far as putting term limits on it starts to taper it back. And it kind of shows Congress that the people, the ones who pay their taxes and all that stuff, that they don't really, they don't want to, they don't want to pay for a bunch of delusional idiots who are going to take us, head first into destruction. But, that's what they do. So, this is about DC specifically. Yeah, I could see that. Cool to see Sam chilling in the shade. Yeah, well, she's kind of having a fit. She's like, I want to go inside where it's nice and cool. I'm like, no, dog, we live outside. You're just going to have to deal with it. I had a female police officer. I think she hit on me. And the guy that was trying to talk to her got a little jealous and said a dick thing, and she got pissed off at him. And I'm just like, I'm just walking by laughing my ass off. Hey, what's up, Bug Out? Nice to see you. Hey, I want to say something to you before you go. I don't know if you just lurk in the background or if you stay around for a few minutes. But I want to say this because I've been talking to Tomcat in his comments, but I just don't have the patience to really write it out. So this is the best medium for me to be able to say something. Okay, so when it comes to, if you're gonna be in this, because there's quite a few of you in here that are content creators. Those of you that are bigger than me, you got it figured out. For those that are smaller than me, or that are having trouble getting monetized, this is some advice for you to kind of help you, to kind of help you improve your channel. Okay, so let's take what I did over the previous 30 days versus what I did like the previous months. Okay, so there is a reason why your people subscribe, and if you keep going all over the place and you don't hone in on one message, you're gonna appeal to so many different people that nobody watches your crap. What you're really doing, if you notice, I've really narrowed down my niche: homeless education and homeless awareness. So therefore, those of you that are in the audience that just kind of don't understand what's going on with homelessness, especially post-pandemic, this channel kind of gives you an insight of what's really going on with an educated point of view. Okay, for those that are about to be homeless, well, there's no information out there that there's. I know the answer. Oh, okay. All right, I'll just hide that one. Okay, so those that are here for education, like, okay, I'm about to be homeless. What do I do? What do I prepare? Or those that know that they're on the cusp, they need to figure out how to get prepared. So therefore, I make content for those people, because when people come to this channel, that's what they subscribe for. Now, there is a section that is preppers, because they look at the homeless as intuitive and being able to make something out of nothing, and they have like built-in survival skills out of necessity. And so, but bushcraft is one type of lifestyle, but homelessness is another, and it requires a whole different way of thinking, and so on and so forth. And so therefore, that's what attracts the prepper community. But I mainly focus on that. Okay, now you got to also think of, when you're searching for a topic, like when you go on YouTube and you search for something, those are keywords that are in the description. If you want your content to keep popping up, so I have a video that gets me I got like 3 or 4 videos that get me about 2,000 views a piece per month, because I got the description, because it has certain keywords in there that people look, and because it's a very popular video, it keeps moving up, and so therefore I get more and more more and more viewers. Okay, and then that plays into subscribers, it plays into my watch time, it plays into all that thing. So what you're really trying to do is forget about watch time hours, forget about subscribers. What your main focus is a title that creates curiosity, that answers questions of the people who originally subscribed to your channel for a specific topic. Okay, so again, how to stealth camp. Okay, or 3 tips to stealth camping. Okay, it generates some form of curiosity so that they want to click on it, and then the description allows it to be found in search when people search for it. Because the thing is when you put a video out, you only get about maybe a 72-hour shelf life on it, and then it putters off. It's if you have a video that keeps people entertained, which means you have a hook. Hey, did you know this? Da, 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 da. Well, we're going to talk about this. You build up, you do it to a climax, you give a personal experience, you close out with a solution. That is how you improve your channel. And I think that if both of you guys really work on that, you will see drastic improvements, because that's how I'm picking up 500 or more subscribers a month. That's how I'm doing. I'm doing probably about, I think about 3,000 watch hours a month. Okay. So because I have taken the time to really put quality content, it's not quality as in videography and editing. It's quality as in how do you feel when you click on something and you don't even get an answer? It's so surface level and superficial that it appeals to everybody, which means it appeals to no one. So therefore you keep going and looking for the answer. Okay, well, when you find that answer, what is the style of content that person does that makes you feel good and makes you watch all the way through? It's because they're short, simple, they get to the point. They're not beating around the bush, they're giving you real life experience, and they're straightforward. And so this will help you guys. And I think that this will help you guys get to that point where you're both monetized. You guys have my email. Once you get my email, I'll give you my phone number. You guys ever want some advice, I will be there to kind of help you, because I mean, Tomcat has done a lot, brought me not only a lot of subscribers, but Tomcat has also been a good friend, and I love watching him grow, and I love his content. It's about title and description, and those are the most important things, because a lot of people don't even really look at the thumbnail. And if you build a brand that's based upon your face, well then, or the cat for instance, every time people see that, they know it's your video, so therefore your audience is already going to watch it. But then the title is going to get the other people that don't even know who you are. Okay, so but yeah, we'll go more through that, but I wanted to make sure to get that message to you and Tomcat, because I've been messaging him, and I wanted to, he needs to get up and he needs to get monetized. He's got a good message, but I think that he's going the wrong route using the software the way he is. I think it's more about crafting his message than all the fancy bells and whistles, because it's not benefiting him, and he's finding out why. Because that's not what people are here for. People are here for meat and potatoes. They want to know what's really going on. So let me get back to what people were saying. Okay. I think they made some valid points similar to what you've talked about. My reply goes into more detail when you get a chance to read it. Okay, I will. But for everybody else that doesn't know really what's going on, the reality is they're applying it to class, or they're not applying it to class. They're doing a blanket statement. Nobody's allowed to camp. Now they're saying that, oh, well, somebody could come lay down a blanket and have a picnic and maybe even take a nap, but some homeless person, if they put down a blanket, they can't do that, and so therefore they're criminalized, and is specifically targeting the homeless. And that's where I think that the misinformation comes from. Okay, that's really where I think that people are getting it wrong. And I think that they're blowing out of proportion to create fear and hysteria to see if they can use bullying tactics to make a change. The thing is it's being applied to, what's going on? It's being applied across the board. It's not being applied specifically to the homeless. Now the homeless have a problem of, they'll show up there, they'll sit there, and they'll just stay there all day. They'll sleep, they'll leave a mess, da 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 da. Well, you stay there for a long period of time. It's just like loitering. You can only stay there for so long before you end up what's the word I'm looking for? Before you are considered camping. So it's about showing up. It's about picking up your stuff, showing up at a reasonable time, and only spending a minimal amount of time. You've always got to be on the move. Okay, so that's one big thing. That you gotta think about. Okay, so hold on. And that's really where it comes down to. Now, if they said that if they said that no. Even though it's indirectly targeting the homeless, it's not directly targeting the homeless. If they said that you have to have a dwelling in order to be able to be in the park, well, then that's attacking a specific group of people, a class. And that in itself is cruel and unusual punishment. So what it's doing is really defining what cruel and unusual punishment is, where the boundaries of it are. And there's going to be a few more court cases that are going to have to decide this. This is just... We went from one extreme to the other extreme. Now we got to kind of go back to the other extreme and to the other extreme until we finally get to the middle and find a full-on solution. But it's probably going to take 4 or 5 pieces of major case law that make it to the Supreme Court before it actually gets to a point where we have a real-on solution about how to deal with homelessness. But in reality, it's this is your fellow man. Respect natural law. But also, as homeless, we have a duty and obligation too. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. Okay, call Dago. Okay, has the Supreme Court decision to make sleeping outside illegal now affected the way you move around? In some areas, yes, Matthew, it does. Have I experienced any harassment as a result? Here in D.C., I've talked to the police. I'm very vocal. I don't have any warrants to worry about, so I can travel freely without looking over my shoulder, which allows me to contact the local police department or the sheriff's department and say, look, I'm staying in. If you get a call, they're like, yeah, we might just come out and do an ID check. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But at least they know so that they're not worried about it. Now, they have to do a welfare check just because of law. Because if they don't and something's wrong with me, but the thing is if somebody calls and complains, there's somebody sleeping. Yeah, we know he's traveling through town. He'll be gone in the morning. Just leave him alone. Is he bothering you? Is he on your property? No, then leave him alone. That's kind of what'll happen. But the thing is, you got to be vocal when you go through these municipalities. It's not only for your safety, but it makes going through town so much better because when you go through and you go through a small town, you say, hey, look, I called the county sheriff, let him know that I was going to be hanging out in the area for the night because I need a place to get some sleep. Well, okay, that's interesting. Sorry. Here, you guys want to watch what I'm watching? Here. Here we go. But yeah, I just think it's interesting. But it just as far as when you go through municipalities, if you talk to people, the thing is when people are scared, they tend to call more. Just like when I would stay at the church. I would let all the neighbors know and stuff like that. So I'm getting distracted. It's really weird. Okay, I need to turn my head and not. Okay, thank you, Matthew. How long you been watching? Okay, you're welcome, Bug Out. Okay, I still pee in the shower, so do I. Oh, hey, what's up, Tomcat? Nice to see you, man. What's up, Bushcraft? Something needs to be done, at least about the filth left behind. Well, you know what? That's just being a responsible, responsible homeless person. If you work with your local homeless and you tell them, look, you're leaving a mess. That's why we're coming after you. But yet those that don't leave a mess, you leave them alone. People will get the hint real quick. If I don't want to be bothered by the police, then I need to then I need to just keep myself clean, stuff like that. Okay. So, okay. Oh, there you go. Okay. I always go full stealth. Never been a problem. Out of sight, out of mind. Yeah. I mean, that works sometimes and stuff like that. But here's the thing. When camping, like I'm open, but I don't show up till late in the day when everybody's kind of going away, especially if you're going into like residential areas and stuff like that. That's something to really be to really be thoughtful of is if you're going into you don't really want to sleep in residential areas. You're going to scare people. You want to sleep in commercial areas of town, whether it be the industrial side or over in the parks or in the downtown area and stuff like that, because at that point in time you're going to bring a lot less attention. Now you can go sleep in residential areas, but you better be really, really good at being stealth, and that means crawling up under bushes. So like this bush right here, that's where I was staying last night. If I walk in that, I would, if this was a residential area, I would be in that bush. I would not be out here in the open. But because I'm in the park area, it's not after dark, or it's before dark. Nobody's gonna mess with me because I'm sitting here and I look like I'm doing something productive. Okay, so, oh wow. Wow. So you got to, did you also see the, or are you from the Billy Meyer camp? Did Michael Horn, cause I know I got like a whole bunch of subscribers from Michael Horn. Are you from that, from that time? What's up, Mustard Seed? Nice to see you. So, but, when it comes to camping, I think that it's there to be used as a tool. It's whether or not the next case will be brought about by the city that goes the most reckless about it. Now, from what I understand, that they're forcing the homeless out of town because they don't want them there. But here's the thing: when you do that to a city, it's gonna basically kill the city, because if you're willing to do that to the least, what happens when all of a sudden now, after kicking all those homeless out, those people that were there servicing the homeless, those people that were there that the homeless propped up because they got all that loose change and extra change that people would have otherwise saved or put into something that would have not benefited the local economy. Now all of a sudden they lose the impact of the homeless community. And the homeless community actually does have a role not only in the economy, but in the overall health of the local economy, because so many businesses look at the homeless and they go, you're taking all their change. They could have taken that change and they could have come into my store and they could have bought something, but because they gave that to you, now I have to struggle more, and I don't want to struggle. That's why I own a business. So as Nelson Rockefeller said, competition is a sin. So with that being said, a lot of businesses will lobby the mayor and everything else like that. We need to get rid of homeless. We need to get rid of homeless. Well, that loose change was never going to get spent anyways. That loose change would have gone in some coffers and maybe gone for like a big birthday gift that would have been spent on something that most likely wouldn't have even benefited the local economy. Because let's say nowadays you buy everything online versus going to your local store. Okay, and so the homeless do that. Plus these little shopkeepers, that their whole business is like the small little mom and pop shops. If it wasn't for all the alcoholics coming in there and buying all that beer first thing in the morning, those guys wouldn't be able to keep their doors open. Okay, the homeless are critical to those small mom and pop shops, and those small mom and pop shops take care of the homeless very well. They will come in on their days and they'll open up early because they know that the shelter opens up or closes or kicks you out early. So they'll be there to open it up because you're their main customer. You're what pays the bills, and everything else is what gives them their profit. And so we're such an integral part of the local economy, and people don't really they don't really notice that, because all they see is, oh, trash, oh, you're a junkie, oh, you're this, oh, you're that. But that's because of politics. You have one side that says they're lazy bums and they're taking all your tax dollars, and the other side that says that oh, we got to sit there and placate them. They don't know how to da-da-da-da-da. And so therefore you just create a bunch of dependent plebes. And at some point, people have got to come to a realization that the homeless are the perfect scapegoat for both parties to be able to rally up their base. For the Democrats, it's about talking about humanity. For the Republicans, it's about being fiscally responsible. But what about us? I mean, the 80% of the homeless are men. And we are chewed up by society. We are rejected by society. We are treated like shit by society. And and if we don't have a paycheck, we have no worth. And then because we're told that our whole life, when we actually become homeless, it becomes like mentally destructive to us, because now we feel worthless, and we've got proof of it because we don't have a job or a check. And so therefore we destroy ourselves, because that's all we're worth to society, is a paycheck. They don't value us. They don't respect us. And we're looked at as the toxic patriarchy. Well, what the hell? And if you're one skin color or the other, it's a whole different thing. And I was talking to an old guy today, 20 years older than me. We were talking about problems with women. It's like, damn, he's having the same problems that I have. And it's like, it's like at some point you just kind of got to sit there and look at it and go, man, women got to get their crap together, because they forgot their main role, which is to nurture. That is what their role is, not only for men, but for society. And so I think that the women that have that instinct still in them are going to be the ones that have true success in life and true happiness. All of the rest are going to be miserable because they're too busy trying to be like men, instead of realizing that they were different for a reason. They bring life into the world. No man can have a child. That's what makes a woman special, is that she can have a child and a man can't. What makes a man special is without him, you have no seed. So both have their roles. Both have their importance. Is one more important than the other? No, but they both have their roles. And we have lost our way in that. And that's really what makes me mad. So, okay. LA County is building 3 sky-rise buildings to house homeless. Why build it? You've got so much abandoned commercial property. Why build more? It's just to make more money. Each unit is supposedly costing $600,000. That's bullshit. That's a lot of money. Every time I've been homeless, I was working, but people just don't see that we are all one disaster or mess up from being homeless. Yeah, that's true. Correct on nurturing. No shame in it. Yeah, that is like the women that I have in my life that I respect still have that quality. Women that don't have that quality, I think now I understand like why I feel the way I do, is because I finally realized that that's the one thing that's really missing. Because it's not that I don't have respect for women, that I dislike women by being part of the MAGDAL movement. It's just that the women that are doing their original role. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna leave that alone. But thanks, Bug Out, for the pat on the back. So you guys know every night at 7 o'clock I do a live stream. Part of how I am able to keep the lights on and everything else like that is that I'm able to raise money through either my tip jar or through subscriptions or through the super chat. So if whatever you guys can do that helps, every little bit helps, because the thing is for YouTube I have to do at least $100 a month, $100 in order to get a payout. Every month I've done over that for like the last 6 or 7 months. But 1 month I may not do that, but I use the super chats to be able to kind of push me over there, because this month I'm like way behind compared to what I was doing last month. But if you guys want to help out the channel, you got my website, you got PayPal, you got Cash App, you got Patreon, you got all these different things, and I'm gonna when I get ready to move and I get ready to go on the road, one of the things that I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna do a daily live stream probably around 9 o'clock in the morning, and I will be doing it from the road, whether it be I get a restaurant that wants to host a live stream, or whether I am walking down the road or down trail. As long as I've got signal, because I'll always have battery. I'm really liking the Anchor. That it's really I'm really loving the Anchor. It's probably one of my favorite brands now. I actually in the description, if you look, I even put an equal block to what I have, a 20,000 milliamp, but it's an Anchor, because Alfred's got me a lot of Anchor gear, and it's really really good. I like the 100-watt power block. I like I like the extra cords. And so yeah, when I replace this power block, the battery block, I think I'm gonna get me an anchor. 'Cause that's part of the reason why I put it in there, so I can bookmark it for myself. So yeah, you're right about women, but it's men's role to be the head of the household. Um, no, not necessarily, because the reason why men are so lost is because we don't have a woman to guide us and to inspire us. Uh, the I watched one of these relationship people. It was a female, and she was very very smart, and she talked about what's called an asset woman, and essentially for guys like me that have an entrepreneurial spirit. But you have a guy that has $100,000 a year business. He's only reached the pinnacle he can by himself. When he brings an asset woman into the realm, she is helping him become more efficient with his time, helping relieve him of some of his stresses. She is kind of guiding and directing him, and kind of being an advisor that's helping him process things in a grander scale. And because she's able to do those things and to help him reach his true potential, he can turn that $100,000 business into $1 million business. But it wouldn't have happened without the nurturing and the understanding and the inspiration of the woman in which he was with. Okay, and I think that this you could sit there and say that this is a man's world, and that men run are supposed to be head of the household. But a man only does what his wife tells him to, because he loves her so much that he does what she asks, even if she don't like it. Like, I don't want to go to a doctor, but I tell you what, if Pebble says you need to go to a doctor, I'm going to a damn doctor whether I want to or not, because I care and respect her enough to go to a doctor. In the same way I would expect her to do. What's up, Scott? Glad to see you, man. I ain't seen you in a while. That does make her a leader. It makes her a helper. Well, no, because they're leading together. She's giving him the ideas and inspirations, but those are her ideas and inspirations that he's taking and running with, because it's like all boats rise with a rising tide. You can't have one without the other. That's the misconception, is that one has to be greater than the other. No, neither has to be greater than the other. It's a balance, and without one, you can't have the other. Without that nurturing and that inspiration, you will never see the true potential of a man. And in the same way that a man, if he doesn't step up and take his role as a leader, and have drive and ambition, and want to do the best that he can because he's inspired by his woman, then you see it's a give and take. No one is greater than the other, because without the other, you can't have one without the other. Hey, what's up, Linda? Nice to see you. We're having a philosophical conversation about men and women. Living the dream. Been super busy lately. No, I'm in DC right now. You should see the. I got to go see the White House today, and I went to the Capitol building. So, toe leader, don't work. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. Well, no, because again, you're looking at who's in control. The more you try and control something, the less control you have. That's when you have PTSD. The first thing you try and do is control your environment. You keep having episode after episode after episode, because you lose control of your environment, and it sends you into a panic because you are reliving that experience. When you learn to give up control of the situation and realize that you can only control yourself and your actions, that is it. Okay, so the more control that you try and have over another person, the worse it gets, and that's why relationships become toxic. Okay, now there are certain things like where one wants to be the follower and one's okay with being the leader, but you still hear the voice of your partner even though they may want you to lead. Okay, so Sam's doing good. She's hating the heat. We've been going in the library a little bit. She's been playing in the pond and stuff like that. I'll send you some videos after the live stream of some stuff we've done here in DC. So thanks, Linda. I'm glad you do. This man is never leaving DC. Why is that, Wactum Plug? I like your name though. Rectum Plug. Oh, that is my favorite. Rectum damn near killed him. Okay. But anyways, but that's my soapbox. My soapbox moment is that with between a man and a woman, there has to be a balance. But if you're trying to control somebody, then you've got it wrong, because what you're saying is you don't trust that person enough to want to do it for you on your own. Um, you know, if like you're walking down the sidewalk, you see this really cool thing that your partner likes, so you stop in the store, you get it, you maybe get like a special card, and you have it gift wrapped because it's something simple, costs under $20, something they said they wanted, you take it to them, you give it to them, they do that because they want to, not because you told them to, not because you controlled them to, not because you sent them down to the store to get it. And the more you allow somebody to freely and openly show you how they care for you, and let them do it on their own terms, the more fulfilling it will be. When you start going, well, I expect this, and I expect this, and I expect this, well, then you're setting yourself up for failure, myself included. Okay? You have to, but the thing is that's why it's important to know how your partner shows the way they care, because if they're going to show it to you in a way that you're not going to be able to fathom and understand, you're going to be miserable. And sometimes it's not about good or bad, it's just that you're not compatible. And so you just gotta get hip with that, and you gotta realize that. So I never seen it like that either. Okay, if you're insecure, you will look at it that way. When you know you have picked the right man, you're safe and secure. Yeah, and that's kind of it's a scary thing, because we're taught something completely different. Because of religion and how dominating it is, it creates its own power structure. The thing is in nature, the alpha is not the strongest. The alpha is the one that takes care of everybody. The alpha is the den mother, something like that. The alpha is not the biggest, baddest bully on town, because even Jordan Peterson says that dictatorships don't really last. The only governments that last a long time are those that operate in the benefit of the people. And when they stop operating in the benefit of the people, then they go away. Because we, whether they try and control us or not, we as a species, we just don't fall in that way, and it becomes toxic, and we get things like what we see in society today, where you got everybody trying to tell everybody else how to live because of all the encroachments that government has done. So, if you well, I'm 59 and you don't know what there's made till your man runs the other way. Yeah. Oh, Joanne, nice to see you. Yay, you made a live stream. Glad to see you. So, I always look forward to your comments, by the way, Joanne. It's hard to find an alpha nowadays around this mountain. Well, I think that we spent so much time stripping men of their basic instincts. Men need to be able to fight, need to be able to roughhouse. Men need to be able to have a way to settle their disagreements, and sometimes it's got to be physically. Men need to be able to have outlets to be able to express themselves, because even though we don't use it in words, we use symbology, and women fail to understand the symbology of men's movements. So a guy doesn't have to tell you he loves you, but when you have a downright meltdown in the middle of Kmart, and he's patient with you and puts you back together, and he's good with you, well, that's the same thing as telling you I love you without actually having to say I love you. But see, women are too busy going, well, he didn't say I love you. Well, yeah, he did. You're just not paying attention to it in the right way. Pay attention to someone's actions, and they will tell you everything you need to know about a person. Because a person will tell you everything. In today's society, people will tell you whatever you want to hear, and then they'll believe that that's true about themselves because they say it. but then their actions say something completely different. So, and that's just what really sucks about people, and in modern society. And so we got to deal with this whole group of delusional people that think that there's something they're not. And then when things fall apart, they think, well, I'm a good person, not realizing that they were being their own worst enemy. So, all right, Tomcat. Yeah, no, I'll get your agreement. You don't eat ass. So, but okay, alpha wolf different than alpha man. Obviously, wolves aren't very strategic, so the best killer wins. Yeah, okay. I like to consider myself a millennial renaissance. I like guns and I like musicals. You like musicals, so you probably sit back and watch Rent, don't you? Oh, my ex-wife got me to watch that. That was torture. Oh, that was the worst. I mean, I would have rather watched Little Miss Sunshine than watch Rent. I don't ever sing that song get stuck in my head. I don't kiss ass, it tastes funny. Yeah, it tastes like shit, doesn't it? So, but that's just kind of where we're at as far as things go. But so you guys think that I'm never gonna leave DC, huh? You know what? It is a vortex. But you know, if I wanted to, I'm gonna spend depending upon what happens this week is gonna determine whether I stay till YouTube payday or I just get on the road and realize that this is just another lost cause. I'm more like a lone wolf Sigma type. Yeah, I think more men are like that than they think. Just because they don't. It's hard to find guys that you can relate with now that got your back, because even guys are becoming as fake as women. But where was I? Oh fuck, I forgot what I was talking about. Can somebody remind me? More like a lone wolf Sigma type. Okay. I learned every word to Rent in the 8th grade because chick watched it every day after school. But I prefer Hamilton or in the Muppet movies or Anne Hathaway. Les Miserables. Oh, okay. I if I remember, I like Anne Hathaway. Like Princess Diaries and stuff. I prefer. I never got into musicals. What I like are lectures. I prefer lectures. That's why I like certain things. But yeah, Alfred, those are good ones. Yeah. See. Oh, you're getting compliments from the girls there, Alfred. You better watch it. You're gonna be hot stuff pretty soon. You'll be off the market in no time flat. So, but I think that here, I'm gonna wait to see what happens this week. Cause I'm gonna meet Ayana tomorrow sometime. But she's got to go do other things. She's here as part of like she's on a tour package with a group. So she's got conferences and all kinds of other stuff. She's not just coming down here to do the rally. She's coming down here to do her business. Okay. Tuck is going to break out and dance like West Side Story. Oh, okay. No, I don't know how to dance. I'm too stiff. My mom was the only one that could get me to dance. But I want to, I'm going to do a Capital Day with her, I think either Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm going to go do my own Capital Day tomorrow. I'm just going to have to go take a bath in the fountain. I don't have time to take a shower and make it down there and all that other stuff and get clothes. They're just going to have to deal with it and so on and so forth. But I want to see if I can sit down and find ways to actually help offer productive legislation that will effectively allow us to start doing positive moves with homelessness, because right now these NGOs are fleecing the taxpayer. They're fleecing the federal government, and they're using us as scapegoats, and then it's going to become dangerous for us, and they don't really care. They don't give a shit about us. But yet they want to pretend like they do so that they can raise money and keep the ship going with return customers. Okay, and we need to have that corrected. before everything starts getting really hostile towards us. I think that there are options to be able to get that done. If I can find some senators and some representatives that will sit back and have a reasonable discussion with me about it. Okay, so that's what I'm hoping to do. If I have some success, I'm gonna see how long it's gonna take me to see it out, and then from there I will, and then from there I'll make plans. But for the fact that I do homeless education and homeless awareness, if I didn't at least see if there was an opportunity, I think I would be doing those of you in my viewership that are homeless a disservice. I can't just talk about it without putting my money putting my money where my mouth is, or my mouth where my money is, whatever it is. So that's kind of where I kind of come into all of this. If I can get some traction, I'm gonna definitely do it. I'm gonna see about getting some interviews. Tomorrow I got to go down to the Georgetown, the Georgetown Drop-In Center, and see about talking with the director. See about hooking up with the director afterwards. I think that that there's a lot of I think there's a lot of potential here, not only for content, but also to be in the know. And it might, I don't know, I want to keep moving, but I also want to do justice for the channel, and this is more of a channel decision than a personal decision. And if something like that were to happen, like let's say I go down, I see Pebbles, and then I tell her, look, I'm going back up to DC because I need to take care of that. There's some things I left on the table. I want to see if I can get it going. Otherwise, if not, I just keep on going and just move on, because I realize that there is no will to fix it, only the will to complain about it. And so therefore there will never be any real solutions. So let's see what we had here. Okay, Fiddler on the Roof, TCB. Okay, Hairless, Miserable, and Phantom of the Opera are my top 3. I never got into plays or anything else like that, guys. Tuck, I'll cash app you for wipes if you promise not to bathe in the fountain for like a schizophrenic. Jesus Christ, this is America. Yeah, Jesus Christ, you know how fucking hard it is to get a goddamn shower in this fucking place? You better show up before 7 a.m. and, well, we only got a couple of showers. It's like, well, they don't have the infrastructure for it like what Cincinnati did. Cincinnati, they had like 8 showers. They could do like 100 to 200 people a day. So yeah, if you want to cash at me for some wipes, I'll go do that instead. But I gotta tell you that everything is extremely expensive here. So and that means I gotta walk up to 7-Eleven tomorrow, or go find me a Dollar General or something like that. Well, no, there is no Dollar General in this town. I got to go find some little grocery outlet. But yeah, sure. If it bothers you that much and you don't want me, yeah, you can go ahead and do that, Alfred, because otherwise I have no problem bathing in the fountain. I'm not using soap. I'm basically sitting there and letting the water rinse the sweat off of my body, because I've been sweating profusely 24/7. The low last night was like 75 degrees. Okay, so it's crazy. Okay. I'm in DC, John. But anyways, yeah. That's kind of where I'm at with this. But fuck, it's so hot. Like I'm almost considering walking to the ocean instead, and just going and like taking a swim in the ocean and using that as a way to rinse off, because I need to. It's like, imagine being soaked 24/7. Like this is worse than Florida, because it's not even humid and I'm sweating like this. No, so it's not worse than Florida, but it's close. No, it's not that humid here. It's really not that. I don't notice the humidity, or if the maybe the humidity is what's making me miserable, but I don't notice it. It's nowhere like what I'm used to, like in Florida or Louisiana or Texas or anything else like that. Ocean, great. Don't do the Potomac River. That's polluted. Yeah, I figured that as much because I'm looking at it right now, because this is an inlet for it. So yeah, that's not the Lincoln Memorial, or that's the Jefferson Memorial that I showed last night. So, 2010, I was burning up in Shafton. Like, yeah, it's bad. And the thing is finding water. It's easy, but it's not. I finally found my first place where I could use a key. But I'm gonna have to go like do it in the middle of the night or something like that. But most of the keys are in lock boxes, so it's kind of hard to just come up there and do something like that. But I found one in like near the library, so I'm gonna go use that one tomorrow, maybe, because I need to have extra water. This 1 liter, and Sam's like a glutton. She's drinking water to cool down, and she's drinking too much water where she ends up drinking the whole liter, and I barely get any. I finally had to cut her off because, when we were inside, I gave her water, and I gave her enough water to where she needed it. Then we come outside and we come here. We left about 5 o'clock. And plus, when we went to dinner, where we ate dinner at, we got 4 pieces of pizza, and I split a bottle of water with her, and she was drinking it perfectly fine. She started spilling the water. And then as soon as we start walking, now all of a sudden it's like, I need to drink a liter of water. No. So anyways. No, I'm not going to Oregon. No. That's why people have issues with homeless. They take baths in fountains. Well, when you have no choice, you have no choice. If there's no public restrooms and you got to take a shit, can you stop from taking a shit, or are you going to shit yourself? You're gonna shit yourself. So what do? You find a place and you take a shit. And then they want to complain about you shitting outside. Well, you know what? If you'd allowed me to use the restroom, I would have used the restroom. But since you won't let me use the restroom, I'm going to shit on your sidewalk right in front of your door just to show you how pissed off I am that you won't let me use your restroom. See, that's what really happens. There's been times where I've threatened. I'm like, dude, you won't let me use the. I'm going to take a crap in front of your door in the middle of the night just for GP. No restrooms. It's like, dude. You're gonna bitch at me for taking a crap outside, but then you won't let me have access. You can't have it both ways. Okay, I'm a human being and I'm required to dispose of my waste. Okay, so and that's the one thing that most people don't get. Okay. Savior done. No, I'm not going to Oregon. I'm from Oregon, and I'm not going back there because it is so crazy. I'm not even willing to work with it. One of the issues, Mustard. Okay, I missed something. Okay. One of the, yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay, I use a C2 Summit 5-liter kitchen sink, and good size microfiber to keep cool, worth its weight, tenfold. Yeah, and I need to fill up that gallon bag, or the 6-liter bag, and poke some holes in that cap I put on it so that I can use it as a shower. I was kind of hoping to do it in the forest, but I may not get a chance to. So, sometimes you just. I get it, guys. I get it. I know what you're saying, but from a standpoint of, dude, I've gone 2 weeks without a shower already. I went to try and get a shower, and they're like, yeah, good luck with that. That's when I realized that I'm gonna have to figure out a way to do my own shower, and I don't really like doing bird baths in the gas stations, although that might be a good idea. Because of the mess that it leaves, just from all the water all over the floor, because you're trying to wash, your bits and pieces and your pits in your face, and make sure that you're not getting too much of a bacteria buildup. But, after a person goes so long without being able to clean themselves, even Sam, there's points when she'll just lay down. She's like, I'm not going any further. It doesn't matter if she wants to, whether or not she wants to go. There's just some times where your body's just going to do what your body's going to do. So I'm just saying, man, a lot easier than to live, man, especially if you're homeless. Yes, I know. I grew up there, man, and I was homeless on the West Coast for the first part of my homeless life. So, yeah, it's easy when you ain't been there. And me and my 2 kids did Long Beach. Oh wow, that was fun. Crab and fish and deer to be had. Lots of woods for privacy. Yes, but they're starting to root people out of those woods now. Just tell them you identify as a dog, and you shit anywhere. Oh, we were walking by something that was like a government building, and I'm like, Sam takes a big old dump, because I've been really, helping her, because now that we're static, I want to kind of fatten her up for the road. That way, when she slims down, that she's got something to be able to lose. So whenever we go static, I always try and fatten her up a little bit. Well, she took a big old dump right there, and I'm like, good, Sam. I'm glad I taught you one thing that you always do, which is take a shit on government property. So anytime we walk by government property, I'm like, Sam, you gotta go potty. You gotta go potty, because I want her to. Yeah, that's my own way of getting back at the government for what their role that they're doing. They're gonna hit Tuck with a Molotov cocktail in his sleep for shitting on the sidewalk. Alrighty then. You're not entitled to use someone's restroom. Okay. I'm glad that you get to so now you want to close off. You want to sit there and complain, but then you want to close off every avenue. What solutions are you offering other than, nope, can't do that, nope, can't do that, nope, can't do that? Well, I'm not going to hold it in. And do you know what happens if you refuse to take a crap? It becomes toxic. You can die from it. Okay? So, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that just because, you can't use somebody's restroom. You can't do this. You can't do that. Well, you know what? Screw you. Going to do it. And when you start doing that to the homeless, that's the attitude you're going to get. Because after a while, we just say, what's the worst you're going to do to me? Take me to an air-conditioned cell where I got 3 hots and a cot? What am I losing out on? Like, this is the Ritz-Carlton, man. I'm taking a vacation, So, I mean, you can only run somebody in the ground so much before jail is actually a positive option. And when you make jail a positive option for a section of society, that is a sign that you have failed. You could put holes in the cap water bottle. Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. Heat up nail or something. Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about. 2 empty spray bottles with fresh water and 1 with soapy water. Use the soapy water. That's too complicated, Matthew. Tuck, you just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job. Thanks, Scott. Much appreciated. It's quick and portable, and if you leave them in the sun, they can be warm too. Yes, that's true. But no, actually, the thing that's quick and portable is the MSR 6-liter pouch that Alfred sent me. That's what's quick and portable, because it folds up when I need it. I can fill it up, and I don't have to worry about it. So therefore, I'm not carrying something bulky the whole time. So it actually is much better for me to have the MSR than it is for me to have 3 spray bottles. Chuck, imagine if you're in DC the week Biden resigns, you'll have to do 1 million live streams and clickbait titles. Well, they're pushing him out right now, aren't they? That'll be interesting. I'll have to. You guys on Patreon, can you guys catch me up on some things that I probably need to know while I'm here? They would probably be important. And Bucknut, you said something about somebody's here in town when we were talking about the what's it called? We were talking about the surplus store. Can you elaborate more on that on Patreon, because I wasn't really understanding what you were trying to get me to do. I'll do it if I understand. So okay. I have 12-liter MSR bladder, perfect field showers. The sea summer kitchen sink is a folding bowl. Okay, bird bath while camping. Yes, that's one way to do it if you're willing to carry the weight and all that other stuff. But I got to carry the dog's crap. and she's too much of a hussy to carry her own stuff. Um, it's never too complicated when it comes to keeping my butt clean. I will haul some gear for sure. Well, it's about having the right gear. You can go for like 20-30 bucks. You can go get a bladder at Walmart that's got a shower in it and everything else like that. You can set it in the sun, heat it up. It's not going to take up much space. You get to keep your butt clean and do it with reasonable space and weight. The 6-liter filled up is 3 gallons, 21 pounds. Yes. If I need to carry it, I need to carry it. Greetings from Germany. What's up, Mr. X? Steve Wallace is in DC. He's a YouTube stealth camper, a really cool guy, just making convo. Oh, okay. Maybe I can figure out how to meet him. Because there's a guy with a green backpack. I'm gonna have to look up Steve Wallace because I think I may have seen him, because there's a guy with a backpack and him and I have been running across each other a lot today. 3.8 liters per gallon, 8.3 pounds per gallon for water. Hold on. Okay. You guys are doing some Jethro math that I don't understand. I mean, it might be right, but I don't understand it. I don't know the conversion rates and stuff. All right. So we are getting up on an hour. Okay. Does anybody have any questions that they want to have answered? Any topics that they want me to cover? Anything like that? As we start, because as we go in, this will be we're going into our last hour, because we only do a maximum of 2 hours on the live stream. So if you guys have questions, now's the time to get me on a tangent. So I want to invite you guys to, I am trying something new. Okay. So my Instagram photos or the photos that you see me doing in these photo dumps where I do like the slideshow. If you guys see any of those and you want to use them for like personal use, not for commercial use, but for personal use, you let me know, and like maybe like $5. For if you think $5 or offer me more or whatever you want. But if you want any of those photos, let me know which one you want. I still have them on my phone. I can email it to you, and we can go through that, because apparently there are people that think that my photos are valuable enough to sell. So if they are, and I'm getting good photos, I might as well take an opportunity to monetize something that I'm doing as a natural part of my journey, because I like taking the pictures to kind of show you guys some of the stuff, because like during my live streams, you just see me sitting here. You don't see me doing anything. During the walk live stream, though, you'll be seeing me walk down the road or trail or whatever it is that I'll be doing. To do some iron-ons or see felt letters on a t-shirt. Oh, yeah. I still don't have a Cash App shirt. Okay. Okay. What's the craziest things I've seen? Let's see here. The craziest thing I have seen is, I don't know. I mean, I've seen some weird stuff, but I don't know what the craziest thing. I can't think of anything like that off the top of my head. Let's see here. I don't know. The craziest thing I've ever seen. When I got into okay, so I first leave Texas, and I go to and I take I say I wanna be near the beach. Cutting myself. No, that's not even crazy. No, craziest thing I've ever done is I put Bengay on my balls. I wonder how long it's gonna take before you guys get what just happened. But yeah, I lost it. Anyway, so okay. Okay, it's cool how bright it is at 8 p.m. Seems yeah. Cash App incoming. You still don't have a Cash App shirt. Tell your lady fans to do some iron-ons and see felt letters on a. Okay, I will try that. And plus, I can. They might have a maker's room here at the library, so I might be able to do that. Cutting yourself with your no. Do you think giving homeless money over funding NGOs is a way to go? If people are going to fund NGOs and the funds don't get to the people, wouldn't it be best to give the people in need the money? Yes, but you need to do it in an effective way, DFH. Really, it's really where it's at. Um, you know, did I need there's been so as I'm traveling, did I need money? There was some places where I did need money so that I could go buy supplies and stuff like that. So yes, I did need money, but it was Scott bringing me goodies. Scott bringing me a butane can. It was Scott bringing me bringing me a couple of Cokes. Oh my God, I still think about that. That's like Scott. Every time I think of you, I will think of two 24-ounce Cokes and a large jar full of ice. That is my forever memory of you. But did that require money? No. He heard what I said I needed and brought it to me. Same thing with Alfred and Jeremy. They give me money like as in my membership, but the most what they do is they send me things like Alfred sent me my anchor stuff. Jeremy sent me my solar panel. That was more valuable to me than money. So it's not always about giving the homeless money. It's about making sure that you're paying attention to what it is that they need, that will help them move in the direction that they're going. I'm traveling now. I don't have the ability to be static in a city. Being static in a city means I can go plug in. I don't need all this high-end power setup. Okay, but now that I'm traveling, I need that setup so that I can keep doing everything that I'm doing. Well, what's more important to me? Giving me money, which I'm going to go spend on food and Coke and stuff like that, or sending me the actual supplies that are going to actually benefit me. Okay, it's better to get to know what your homeless person needs to help them than it is to just give them straight out money or to just give money to an NGO. So both are wrong answers because both fail to actually sit there and assess the problem and see what the true needs of the individual are. It might be, they need a new pair of shoes. It might be they need socks. It might be that they need a friend. It might be that they just need to see a little bit of humanity from people, to see that somebody's actually going to give a crap about them regardless of whether they're having a good day or a bad day. Okay? These are different things that you can do, and none of it really requires money. It's money helps in certain situations. When you're trying to get supplies that require money and that are perishable, especially. But also at the same time, you gotta think about you gotta think about what it is that they really need to move on. Okay, so that's my answer to your question, DFH. I said you should have a shirt with your cash tag on so people will see it when they watch. Okay, all right. I may have to stay here I could probably do it in Virginia. Let me look at logistics. Because if I leave before YouTube payday, which is the 21st, if I leave before YouTube payday, then I will probably stop in Virginia and see about doing something like that, because I think I'm going to go through Richmond, unless I do the coastline, but it depends. And there might be t-shirt, especially when you go through Norfolk. There'll be some shirt shops or some tailor shops where I can get something done like that, or I can order it from. Actually, you know what I could do is I could make one in my merch shop and just make it for me and then just order it and then do it like that. So that might be something to do. I'll show you guys in case you want to order it before me, but I could do something like that. That's how I can do it. It's easy. It'll cost like $20 for the shirt, but I'll pay for it. I don't have a problem with that. But then that way I can do that. So I say you should have, okay, share it with your cash tag. Put their cash tag in Windows, get cash. Okay. I get that money isn't going to solve problems. I just see billions of dollars going into the hands of people that don't truly need it and leaves the ones. Yes, but if you give an addict too much money, what's going to happen? You're gonna give them so much money they're going to overdose. And who wants to give somebody money to go overdose? Okay, unless you're being malicious. Usually, people who give money are giving it out of kindness. They're not giving it out of being malicious. Okay, so that's something to think about. Um, when you're thinking about something like that. Okay, so, but yeah, I agree with you. But there's you got to really think about the full spectrum on that too, from multiple views, because there are reasons why people give to NGOs, because they don't want to enable bad habits. They want to fix the situation. And sometimes giving a homeless person money isn't going to fix the situation. It's just going to magnify their problem. I sent you a water bottle because I saw you almost die on trail the first time. Oh yeah, yeah. When I was doing St. Mark's, I know exactly what you're talking about. And now you had a dog. Oh yes, this is come in handy. I've had to use it a few times on trail already. Honestly, this bladder is my one of my top most important things that I have. Like you guys, the things that you guys send me are just like I don't know how I lived without them. So seeing humanity and fairness is rare, but I abide by it. Yes. So what's your opinion on the increased cost of fast food? Well, actually, fast food's about to deflate. Oh, speaking of, thank you for bringing this. Okay, so this morning, I went and used my last couple bucks on breakfast at a Coke at McDonald's, because there was no breakfast around. The only place that fed was like around 5 o'clock today, okay? And so I was like, well, crap, I'm hungry, I want to eat. Let me go get a good deal. So the McDonald's over on New York Avenue will give you one free refill. The one down the street here won't give you a free refill. So I usually go to the one on New York Avenue. Now, if you want to buy a sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin individually, it's $2.59. But if you use the coupon deal that says buy one, get a second one for $1, they will charge you $5.39 for that same thing that they were going to charge you $2.59 for individually. Now, if you try and add that coupon and try and work around, it still makes it like $6. So instead of being able to pay $3 and something for 2 sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffins, they are trying to make you pay full price for both of them, making you think that you got one for $1. So watch out on the pricing that they're doing. Some of these things you may just have to buy individually instead of doing the combo, because they're using the cover of the switcheroo in order to fleece you for more money. Okay, so that's something to be thoughtful about especially when you go to McDonald's. Give money back to citizens and let them spend it to support their own communities, including homeless. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's a good solution, because what we have found throughout history, the only type of government that works is a government that is a local government. Because the farther you get removed from it, the less responsibility you have to the local community, and more responsibility you have to the group as a whole. So, hey, thanks, Mustard Seed. Much appreciated. Go buy some wipes. Okay, I'll go buy some wipes. So, thank you. Okay, DFW, I agree with Alfred LaRock. I think that help should come from the community and not necessarily the government related entities. Yes. Well, traditionally, it used to be the churches that were responsible for taking care of guys like me. They were the ones that would do. They provide food, clothing, spiritual guidance, community connections. Before you even lost your house, the whole community would come together, buy you a couple bags of groceries to make sure that your family could eat, and then the church would come and take care of the rest of the stuff, including your spiritual guidance. Okay, so the church was an integral part of the community. It was what kept the community together. But when the community, or when the church started becoming 501c3s, they became creatures of the state, and therefore it became consumer Christianity. And that's another reason why most of Christianity is fake and a joke, because all you got to do is believe in Jesus Christ. No. There's so many contradicting terms in there, but it still says that you got to do more than just believe. That's just one of the many things that you've got to do in order to make it into heaven. But the way that Christianity has dumbed it down to so that they can keep their congregation and keep their money is to sit there and say everybody goes to Jesus. So, but it is what it is. Okay. But I don't know what else to say there other than, that's just, it is what it is. Remember that likes and subs are free and very helpful. Yes, because once I get to 5,000 subs, I can. It opens up a thing through the YouTube Partner Program where I can start getting direct connections to brands that want to do deals with content creators like me. Now, I am working with Homeless Entrepreneur. Now, not all NGOs are bad, but just like government, they should be watched so that they're not snakes. But yeah, anyways, Homeless Entrepreneur is supposed to be helping me get brand deals. Now they're gonna profit off of it some way, and that's just the nature of the beast. I mean, they're using their connections. You've got to pay, some pound of flesh, because I may pay for it now to get myself in the door, but later on I won't have to. Tuck, I want to send you an old Kindle with Book of Mormon on it. Anything else you wanted? Why would you send me a Book of Mormon? I'm not Mormon anymore. Dr. Seuss, the Hardy Boys Mysteries. I've read the Book of Mormon 3 times through and through, by the way, Alfred. Christ taking no atheists in foxholes. Yeah, just like there's no atheists in school either. Well, I get it. But the thing is, Alfred, if I were to go back to Christianity, it would be Mormons, because quite frankly, if Christianity were true, the Mormon church would be the closest thing to truth that you could get. I think that although Joseph Smith had his issues and other things, I think that he was trying to do his best to be able to keep his family together, and out of it, he created a religion that would bring his whole family together and also work on making sure that the family unit is strong, because that is probably one of the most important things that the Mormon church does is it's all about a strong family unit. That's just really the way it is. But yeah, there's no need to send me a Kindle for that, though. I almost went on my mission. I found out that my best friend's dad would have paid for it if I asked, and I never asked. Down Wikipedia on it, it's like 7 gigabytes and a shit ton of info. I think he's referring to the play, not the real book. Oh. Okay. I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about the Book of Mormon. So. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, something like that would be cool. Yeah, something like a sci-fi, something like that. Imagine if he was, because Netflix tried to do something like that, and I thought that was kind of cool. I really wish they would have kept the series going, because it was hitting hard. Because it basically made all the Christians realize that they'd screwed up and that they were doing wrong. So, okay, I think he's referring. Okay, so, oh, okay. So, but anyways, no, Tuck is right. I meant the real book. I remember he got pissed. The Christ folk made him give it away. Yeah, but when my son was born. So when you go through certain events in your life. So when you turn 8 years old, which I was a convert. My family was not. I was not raised in the church, so I was a convert at 15. So I went through my conversion at 15. And it saved my life. It made a huge impact on my life. Uh, but yeah, I was converted at 15, and then right before you go out on your mission, you're supposed to do a soul searching to make sure that the church is true. Right before you get married, right before you have your first kid. Well, I did it right before I had my first kid, um, and then that's when I came across Billy Meyer, and I did not want to listen to Billy Meyer. I'm telling you that. I really did not. I thought that it was, I don't need to hear about aliens, screw aliens. So if you want to know like something like what if in 2035 Jesus Christ came back and he was aliens, look at Billy Meyer, and that's basically the story that you got. One of his many reincarnations we call him, well, he calls him Emmanuel. The Christianity calls it Jesus Christ. But even in Isaiah 40, it says, "In his name shall be Emmanuel." So, but I don't want to get on the whole Christian thing, because I know that there's some people it turns off, some people that like it, and I don't want to get on that discussion. But I will. I respect anybody that wants to be in Christianity. Billy Meyer, Kindle. You know what? If you want to send me a Kindle and you want to do really good, I want the Goblet of Truth, the Talmud Emmanuel, and the Might of Thoughts. Those are I could go without the Talmud Emmanuel as long as I could have the Goblet of Truth and the Might of Thoughts. Like, if you want to send me some Billy Meyer stuff, that's what you would send me. That I would accept. Better reading than a phone. Nobody likes homeless guy and reading. Oh yeah, and plus on my downtime, so that I could save battery. Oh hell yeah. That way I'm not sitting there going, well, I need to find a game or something to entertain myself, because sometimes that's how I do it. But yeah, you'll have to go to theyflyblog.com, which is Michael Horn's website, and ask him about it. I don't know if you're familiar with the Meyer. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but better reading than phone. Nobody likes. Okay. You blind. Huh? Okay. Hold on. Okay. I think you missed my question. Okay, what was the question? Okay, what do you think the top presidential candidates are? Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I did miss it. Why do you think the top presidential candidates are so old? What is going to give younger candidates a better chance at election money? It's not about money. It's about a good old boys club. See, the thing is that the baby boomers, okay, so you had the greatest generation. That was the World War II generation. Yeah, they sold their kids into bondage for survival, but every generation has done that at some point in time. The Irish during the potato famine would sell their children into bondage for a sandwich. So it's not the first time it's happened. It's an ugly truth that happens, and the power elite will take advantage of it when they can. Okay, but they did what was necessary to survive, and because they did what was necessary to survive the Great Depression, the Dust Bowl, and a world war, basically a polycrisis of their time, on top of the settling effects of the Spanish flu, because even though it happened pre-World or post-World War or during World War I, the deaths and all that other stuff still took a toll on top of the war and everything else like that. So civilization had a lot to you could screw like jackrabbits and have 5 kids because you had to replenish the population that was lost through war, okay, through natural attrition. But those guys, they also got to, like, once the economy got restarted after the war, after everybody came back online, they were able to give their children the life that they were not able to have, and they wanted to make sure that their children did not struggle. That generation, also known as the baby boomers, became so spoiled, so thoughtless, so selfish, that they are the most destructive force. So the boomers, in order to maintain control, are the only presidential candidates that you will get, because the power elites themselves are also boomers. And so therefore, they robbed Peter to pay Paul so that they could line their own pockets. And now that it's time for it to come home and roost, they want to stand on top and control it so that they can save their own asses from being lynched and tarred and feathered. Okay, that's my answer to that question. Yes, okay. What's up, Riham? Okay, Americans love a revenge story, Django Unchained to Rocky. All the best stories ever, revenge from underdog. That's why Trump got convicted and did better. Yes, but you got the one thing that Trump symbolizes in our society is the return of the power to the people. The man himself, is okay. So like Christians talk about how Moses was a complete unkept, deviant. He was not a good person. Okay, but he was chosen by God to lead the people of Israel out, and so therefore he did it. In a lot of ways, Trump is more like a Moses than the underdog. Okay, Lord of the Rings underdogs saving their friends and destroying evil. Star Wars revenge. Thank you for your thoughts. Yeah, no worry, Qualio Control. But I will have to talk to him later. So, but anyways, so I am doing a. So I'm gonna start closing up. I'm gonna spend the next 10 to 15 minutes closing up. I want to tell you about a new membership that I have here on YouTube. Okay, this new membership is going to be kind of like crowdfunding. All right, and I was starting to talk about this earlier. So I'm doing something like 300 miles a month. While I am doing what is called wandering tuck, okay, which is I'm wandering around the country. I'm taking trails. I'm going places. I'm doing things and stuff like that. You're gonna get, as long as I'm in signal, you're gonna get a daily walk along from probably about 9 to 11. Okay, so I'll give you a 2-hour window to where I can do it. I'm going to try and keep it at about an hour so I can save my battery for the nighttime live stream. But what's going to end up happening is that day live stream is going to be reserved for anybody that wants to. I'm going to make it where it's members only chat, okay? But I got to get enough members over there. I'm going to take 30 days. I want to see if I can pick up 3 members. If I can pick up 3 members, I can just move it over, and those 3 people will show up and talk. Now it will be a members only live stream for all of the members that are there. Once I first start it over, I will probably include everybody, and then it will be only wandering tuck, because I want to be able to get enough people to participate. Because if I just automatically go, oh yes, we're going to do a members only live stream, I'm going to have nobody. I'm going to be sitting there talking to myself because there's going to be no chat. Part of what allows me to do a long live stream is the fact that you guys interact with me in chat. We have conversations. We talk about all kinds of weird stuff. We talk about trail. We talk about homelessness. We talk about personal thoughts. You guys get me on rants and all kinds of stuff like that. Okay, so I do need the ability to have people that want to connect in that way. Okay, so I'm going to do a slow transition, and in that way we can kind of have it that way. And if we get enough members, what we may end up doing is I may end up making all live streams, with the exception of 1 or 2 a week, members only live stream. That way you guys are getting the bang for your buck. But you will also get 3 free photos. So I'm going to be uploading photos. So like the collage that I do, I think I'm going to still upload them over on Instagram, but nobody really goes over on Instagram. It's just for people that are looking for photos to buy. But I think really what I want to do is use YouTube as my platform for that, because everybody feels more comfortable using YouTube than anything else. So by doing something like that, you'll get like 3 free photos for personal use. You can turn it into a picture, or like whatever. Like if you have one of those digital picture frames and you want to put it in that or something like that. just something to see of like, oh yeah, cool stuff. Whatever you want to use it for, as long as you're not using it commercially, you get 3 of those a month. So I've uploaded in the last month. I probably uploaded about I've done about 150 pictures. No, maybe like 110, 120. No, this upload alone was 110. So, and I probably got about 50 on top of that. So we'll say about 140 to 150 that I've done as far as pictures. And there's probably about 10 or 15 of them, maybe 20 of them that have high value as far as like the quality of picture that I took. And I know that commercially that there's going to be somebody that's going to want it. And so therefore, I can work out something with them. That's just something that I'm going to end up doing. So I want to be able to offer it to you guys because, you guys get to see you're not seeing the road going down the interstate at 55 as you're traveling to and fro. You get to see the America through my eyes as I walk the roads and take back roads and take weird routes that most people don't even walk anymore. Okay, so okay. So anyways, okay. If you were closer to us, my husband and I would take you in for free to help us. Well, where are you, who dat? And I don't know what you mean by take me in for free. I like traveling. Now, I might want a place for winter, though. But yeah, who dat? That is very kind. But the last couple of people took Tuck in. They got him drunk and tied him in a garage and made him a sex slave for 3 weeks until he was able to escape. Yeah, well, I only escaped just because I needed some more Viagra. No, Linda, you got to realize he loves making these stories up. Honestly, he's really good at this. I'm surprised he's not like a writer of like short stories or something. He's actually pretty good at it. But no, he's really good at satire like that, though. I'm surprised he's not a stand-up comedian. Wooden has to be from Louisiana. Tuck, please learn your geography. Who dat? Well, who dat? No, who dat could also be from Cincinnati because that is who dey is what they call the Bengals. So, anyways, he kept going back through Alfred. Okay. I'm not on trail enough to be comedian. I'm not tall enough to be a comedian. Yeah, sure, Alfred. That made your day. Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, I'd like to invite you guys to check out the membership if you'd like. And all of that. I don't know. I'm worried about becoming too dependent on YouTube, but everybody seems to feel you're on this platform, you trust this platform, you feel comfortable with this platform. So like, that's why like people prefer doing PayPal over Cash App, because PayPal has better branding. People feel safe. They know it. They trust it. Even though it costs more, they're like, yeah, that's because it's safe. Well, no, it's just because they're ripping us off. Because Cash App can do the same thing. It's just as safe and just as secure as PayPal, and it costs a lot less. But for each person, it's different. So, but anyways, I'm trying to make babies with female volleyball player to give my son better life at 6. Just find a tall woman with a Napoleon complex. My ex-wife was 6 foot tall. Okay, I thought I was 5'6", but most recently I was measured. I'm 5'7" now, so 5'7" versus 6 foot. So she had a Napoleon. Cash App, you can get Bitcoin exposure. Yeah, but I'm not into Bitcoin. It's not. I know some things about Bitcoin that tell me I don't want to get in Bitcoin because it's going to be way too complicated for me. And That usually when it gets too complicated, that's going to cost me more money than I'll ever make. Cash App is easier to transfer one account. Yeah, and sometimes when I can't find a bank account, I can go to a Walgreens. I pay $1 to do the deposit. Um, through like Walgreens. So what? But then I get to, and then I pay a minimal fee to transfer that into my bank account. Or I can just use a Cash App card too. So I can make 510 in my boots. Oh wow. Are your boots like 3 inches? So Cash App is easier to transfer from. But anyways, guys, if you'd like to help out, tip in the tip jar. You can come over to Patreon. You could get a membership here. I do videos on Mondays, Tuesdays, and I took away the Army of Tuck pre-release tier. It does not mean that I'm getting rid of the podcast. I want to know, do you guys like the podcast? How do you feel about the podcast? Do you guys find it value? They're like 25 minutes long. Do you find value in it? If not, I'll stop doing them. If you do find value in it, then I'll keep doing it. But I'm noticing that I'm getting quite a bit of traction on it. I'm just trying to make sure that it's matching the audience. From there. Well, Cherokee, I look forward to when you join. So because you're gonna have so much cool stuff to look at. You're gonna be like you're gonna be geeking out for at least a couple weeks. You like all the content. Yeah, that's perfect. Because I like what I'm doing there on Patreon. Because it's the little clips, and those clips are like, even though I'm doing a 2-hour road walk, I'm walking for 6-8 hours during the day. I'm only doing maybe 20% of my road walk. So the places where I want to stop and take pictures and stuff like that, I can, and just go from there. So I'm getting tired. But anyways, that's one thing I like. I have Patreon going the way that I want it to go. For $5, $10, or $20, some people $20 is a drop in the bucket. For other people, $20 is a tank of gas. And so depending upon how you feel, you can do your different membership. And what it is you get access to chat. So you can come over and talk with Alfred and Jeremy and me and Linda and whoever else decides they want to come join and chat. And then you also got you also get all the spicy videos that I have to put behind the paywall, which I haven't had one in a while, which is kind of nice. But I was putting them behind the paywall for a while. And I may go back to putting them behind a paywall and start doing it every night. But the thing is I want to be able to offer something that is, offer value to everybody that decides to be in my group. But anyways, you get chat, you get random clips, and you get the live streams, and you get the chat. So there are, I think that that Patreon is better. But for those of you that want to use the YouTube route, this is the YouTube route. So you can either you can get early access to my Tuesday video for like $4 a month, or you can have members only chat, get special discounts, and get some other perks for doing $20 a month if you want to do that. But that's special, and those will be daily podcasts. Now that tier, once I come off the road, unless we have a discussion and decide to keep the tier going, I will probably end up closing that tier out when I come off the road for good. Okay, just because there's a reason for doing it. It's crowdfunding me along the way. So anyways, guys, thank you for being here. I will see you in tomorrow night's live stream. I'll take a gifted. Yes. When we get to that point where I can gift you one, just a guest, I will definitely, I'll definitely do that. So, but anyways, there's a few of you that once I reach that $200 mark on Patreon, We've got some memberships coming to you, because I know that you're basically in my situation. I'm just like, I can barely afford anything. I'm not going to expect you to. So those of you that are here that are part of that, we know you and I. We know who you are, and we know that you'll be taken care of when that time comes. But anyways, guys, thanks for being here, and I will see you in tomorrow night's live stream, same bat time, same bat channel.